شكرا يا ربي شكرا هديت قلبي شكرا
Leave this gathering right now, leave this meeting right now. So again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but shaitan is locked away, but we still have our nafs and our inner desire that has been trained to do things. Okay, so now one of the things we have to understand, the first 10 days of this month is mercy, rahmat of Allah. Second 10 days is maghfirah, forgiveness of Allah. Third 10 days of this month, which also the night of Qadr, the majestic night, the great night of Qadr, which is found in the odd nights of the last 10 days, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Laylatul Qadri khayrum min alfi shahr, 1,000 months of worship compared to that night. One night of worship is better. So better than 1,000 nights of worship. So it's 1,000 months, sorry, not nights, months. So the last 10 days is for it's what do you call itqu raqabatin minan nar, is the emancipation from the fire of Jahannam for the souls that were not forgiven the first 10 days, that were not given mercy from the first 10 days, and maghfirat from the second 10 days, then emancipation from the fire of Jahannam for the last 10 days. So these are some of the benefits of the month of Ramadan. Now the topic in hand, like I said, we need to know some of the blessings, some of the reward that we are going to get, so that we can be motivated. This is how it works. Like I said, there's no magic. So I have to tell you some of the blessings and some of the the rewards that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us. It comes in different ahadith. From Qatada radiallahu anhu, he used to say, the one who's not forgiven in the month of Ramadan, then when else is he going to be forgiven? This is the month. This is the month where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes, there's no other time throughout the year. If you pray your one obligatory salah 10 times, you will still not get the reward of, if any sunnah salah, you pray it even 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, it will not become equal to a fard salah. Never. A fard is a fard. In this month, your sunnah salah will be equivalent to fard salah. And your fard salah will be multiplied by 70 times. So everything is multiplied. Everything is, it's like, it's like if you're looking for things on sale, this is the time. The actions are on sale. Take it. Take it. Make, fill up your basket, fill up your, bring 2 trolleys, two shopping carts, 3, 4, how many you want, fill them up. This is the time. Don't let go of this opportunity. Seize it. Everything is cheap right now. This is only during this month of Ramadan that is, just, upon us, within a few days, inshallah. So, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, if the people knew, لو يعلم الناس ما في شهر رمضان من الخير لتمنت أمتي أن يكون رمضان السنة كلها. That if my ummah knew, if my people knew that what is found in the month of Ramadan, they would have wished the whole year becomes Ramadan. That the whole year is Ramadan. So imagine, this is the month. This is the month. Then, in another place, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he says, من صام يوما من رمضان خرج من ذنوبه كيوم ولدته أمه. The one who fasts one day of Ramadan, one day, he will leave that day, meaning he will come out of that day. By the time iftar time comes, he has his the meal at the end of the fast, to break his fast, to open his fast. He will be like that of a newborn baby, as if he has no more sins. These are some of the virtues, some of the rewards that are waiting for us. Rasulullah says, إِنَّ لِكُلِّ صَائِمٍ دَعْوَةٌ فَإِذَا أراد أن تقبل فليقل في كل ليلة عند فطره يا واسع المغفرة اغفر لي. Every person at the time of iftar, he has a chance to make dua, and this dua is a dua that is readily accepted by Allah. And so that time, make this dua, Ya wasi al-maghfirati, Ya wasi al-maghfirati, ighfir li. That, oh, the one who's great in his forgiveness, forgive me. These are the things that we have. Okay, the best of it all, before we move on to some of the tactics that we can use, inshallah, some of the tricks that I might have up my sleeve, nothing new, I'm sure you guys are already aware of these things, but we'll just share and remind one another. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in a hadith Qudsi that كل عمل ابن آدم له إلا الصوم وأنا أجزي به, that every single action that the son of Adam, the children of Adam, but except for Sawm, fasting. Fasting is such a thing. Look, why you have to understand why is this especially for Allah, and the other actions could be for people. Because you could be praying, people could see you, and they will know you're praying, and you could be like showing off. Yeah, I pray. I pray, man. Look at me. I'm a constant prayer. I'm a good Muslim. People can. You give charity. People can see you give charity, or at least the person that receives your charity knows. Or there's always a way to find out, right? If you were doing Hajj, obviously you're in a big gathering. You do any type of good deeds, it's often related to people around you and you. But this Sawm and fasting is such a thing, is between you and Allah. And there could be moments during your fast where nobody's around you and you and your Lord. That's it. Nobody else is there. Yet you decide not to eat, not to take the sip of milk that you've been staring at, that ruabza that's been sitting on the table your mom's prepared it, and it's cold, and the jug is sweating out of the coolness, and you just look at it and you're like, I can't wait another 20 minutes. You could have taken a sip. Nobody would have seen you, but you didn't. You did it all for Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this fasting is something that is between me and my servant. My servant has done it solely to please me and no one else. Because if he wanted to cheat, he could have cheated. He did not. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ, I, Allah. Allah is saying that I myself take the responsibility to reward you for it. And in another narration it comes, وَأَنَا أُجْزَى بِهِ, that I am the reward. I am the reward for the fasting person. Imagine, Allah is your reward. You have Allah as a reward. What else do you need? What else do we need, my respected brothers and sisters? So, keeping these things in mind, moving forward, how can we, the topic was that, we start off Ramadan and we're like all excited. Yay, Ramadan. Second day, yay, Ramadan. Third day, yeah, Ramadan. Fourth day, oh man, Ramadan. So, but, you guys said 8 days. I said, 5th day we're done. Third, fourth day, we're like, man, we're like dying, right? First of all, we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Ramadan has moved back to shorter days now. As compared to a few years ago, we had a dead in summer, right? So we are not fasting throughout that long period of time, right? So there's a few things that we have to do so that we can be productive. And I'm going to be blunt about it. I'm sorry if you liked me up until this point and after what I say now you don't like me anymore. It's fine. It's fine. Because I want to benefit, and I don't want to sugarcoat anything, okay? I want to just get to the point so that we can all, inshallah, make this Ramadan like none other. All right. So one of the things that I would, I've spoken to you guys before, and I've said this before, that we have to make a schedule. And we have to abide by the schedule. This is not just a schedule that stays on the wall and nothing changes on there, nothing gets ticked off, and nothing gets... So I am going to share a few material with you after, inshallah. Once I'm done, I don't know if I can share on this meeting platform, but I will give it to my cousin Mahi, and he will give it to you, all of you guys, inshallah. And there's some material that I'm going to share with you. There's the Ramadan planner, the beautiful planner there is. You can make use of that. There's a few material that I have that I want to share with you guys, inshallah, in PDF form. I'll send it to you guys, and you guys can, inshallah. So first thing we have to do is have ourselves. First, we have to obviously, like I gave the whole 40-minute or 35 minutes of introduction of why we should, right? I hope that doesn't go to waste. I hope this was able to wake some part of us up and really make ourselves feel like we need to do this, because if tomorrow we die, then what have we taken with ourselves? What do we have? How many Ramadans that we can claim that it was great Ramadan? How many Ramadans were amazing Ramadans that we had? So we have to really take it seriously and really make the most out of it, inshallah, because we don't want to be among those people who say, Ya Allah, send me back, let me go back. It's too late. That will be too late. That will be too late. We have to do it before that time comes. So make a schedule for yourself, okay, and abide by this schedule. All right. Now, I take little notes on my little flashcards that I have here, and I wrote device, and then I wrote equals vice. Then I said, subhanallah, the word vice is in device. So all these devices that we have, right? All these devices that we have, sorry about that. It wasn't me, by the way. So all those devices that we have, like our phones, our tablets, I would say during the time of our fasting, if we can put them away, that'll be the best thing. If not, then at least delete those apps. We all know what those apps are. I don't really want to point fingers now and point out each thing. Which app keeps you preoccupied, makes you look at things that you're not supposed to look at? When I say look, in this month of Ramadan, even halal things that have been made haram. Okay, we have to understand. In Ramadan, you're allowed to eating. If you're married, then being with your partner is fine. In Ramadan, these are things that are also prohibited during the time that you're fasting. So imagine if halal things are made impermissible during the month of Ramadan. So what about haram things? What about haram things? Like really, like this is not a joke. I was a little clumsy today. I was joking around with you guys a little bit. I was throwing a little joke here and there. We have to be serious though. We're adults, right? We have to understand these things, right? For what it is. We can't be like, fools and, just keep fooling ourselves and just keep, doing the things and stay. It's all about that, what I said in the beginning. It's all about discipline, right? We got to discipline. If we can't discipline ourselves in the easiest of the month that has the most barakah and rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when else are we going to, discipline ourselves, right? So let's be honest, all those apps that are problematic in our phones, let's get rid of them. Let's disable them. Let's delete them. Or, at least, uninstall them for this month, please. And I'll go a step further to say, I don't think you'll die if you don't have Facebook for a month, or if you didn't post some, pictures of yourself or whatever you post on Instagram for a month, or if you didn't post a snap for a month. I don't think you'll die. Neither would your friends. Let's be honest to ourselves. There was phone for connection, for talking to one another before, right? Before all this technology came about, right? But sorry about that. So let's get rid of those apps, okay? And if we can, please, or at least let's set some kind of time limit that during the time that I'm fasting, I'm not gonna look at those things. That's the minimum we can do, and that's not being too harsh, is it? Are we gonna die? If we want to be productive, you guys put this forward, right? We want to be productive. These are the reasons why we become lethargic and we become weak. Because it's not because we're not having food. It's because we're not feeding our soul. This month is to feed our soul and strengthen our soul. If the soul is strong, then a person finds strength in his body. But if the soul is not strong, then a person will not find, right? So that's one thing. Next thing, well, like I said, the devices have vices, right? So let's get rid of the vices from the devices. Now, TV, movies, Netflix, all the shows that you have to catch up on, please, my respected brothers and sisters, let go for this month, for the sake of Allah. I beg you. I beg you, literally. I beg you. I implore you. I just please let go of it this month. No more movies, no more TV shows, nothing for now. Just you and Allah. Just try. And you might say, okay, so if you're going to take out all those fun things, what are you going to replace it with? I'll give you things to replace it with, inshallah. I'm going to provide you with some replacement, inshallah. Those of us who are like, game freaks, let's kind of limit ourselves. No, let's stop the gaming for this month, inshallah, if we can. Again, nobody's going to die, inshallah. Hopefully, Another thing is that we are at home and we have our, siblings at home or our parents, and it's sad. We spoke about parents, right? I hope now we kind of not fight with our parents anymore. But it's very natural that, during this lockdown, during all this thing that is happening, we might be, feeling a little anxious and wanting to fight and whatnot. let's not fight. Let's not fight. Let's not quarrel. Let's not, argue with one another. This is the month of blessing. Let's use it as a blessing. Okay. Uh, Now, another thing is that let's not have long nights. Okay. Let's not, unless you're planning to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all night, go to sleep after Taraweeh. And we'll get to that inshallah. This year we have to make Taraweeh at home. These are a few things that we, alhamdulillah, my cousin reached out to me. I said, can I do Taraweeh at home with the surahs that I know? Of course you can. Of course you can. You can repeat the surahs as many times as needed for the amount of rakats that you are going to make. Hopefully you're making 20. If not, whatever amount you're making, make them. And inshallah, you recite those surahs that you know in the salah and lead your family in salah. Very important. Now, these are the things that we replace it with to make this Ramadan productive, fruitful, and so that we don't. One of the reason also that we stay up late and we sleep throughout the time of sihri, right? Suhoor, when it's time to have the pre-dawn meal, we go to sleep. So as a result, we can't really pull through the day because the month of Sha'ban was supposed to be that month where we practiced and kind of got on board with fasting, but I don't know how much we did that. I didn't do it, to be honest. I did it 1 or 2 days. I wasn't able to. So now jumping into Ramadan, just if I feel like I'm going to be able to fast all day without eating, it's going to be impossible. So we have to kind of take the pre-dawn meal. Rasulullah SAW encouraged again that delay your pre-dawn meal until the last minute, and when it comes to breaking your fast and iftar, do it right when it's time. Don't delay that. That's the time you have to eat. Eat right away. Don't delay that. But pre-dawn meal, delay it. It's fine. Okay, until the time permits, which is azan time. Now, that's one of the reasons why we start becoming kind of, we start slacking off, is because we don't eat pre-dawn meal. We sleep through, and I'm sure many of you are like nodding your head right now because, we're guilty of it. We stay up all night and then we fall asleep right before Fajr, and, we miss Fajr as a consequence as well. And, this is very important that in this month we don't miss Salah. Very important because we're fasting. Let's not miss Salah. But if somebody says, oh, I don't pray, so I can't fast, that's also wrong. Those are two different things. Let's not put this together like that. Just because I don't pray, I can't fast. No, we should pray and we should fast, both, inshallah. Now, few things that we can do. One verse of the Quran every day with meaning. One verse of the Quran every day. Try to learn it with its meaning. You know Surah Fatiha, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik. But how many of us actually know what it means? Why not learn the meaning? And if you know the meaning, mashallah, of the whole Quran, fine, great, no problem. How about this? Try to memorize one verse every day of the month of Ramadan. At the end of the month, you'll have 30 verses. You'll have a few surahs. If you start from Amma, from the back, at 30th juz, you'll have a few surah memorized, inshallah. Give yourself task. Next, during the day, try to help around also at home. Try to do a little chores here and there, little tasks. Take upon yourself, and you will do it every day. Learn one dua every day. Learn one dua, and these are the material that I will provide to you, inshallah. I'll be sending this material to you so you can have, 30 days you'll have plenty in your hands, inshallah. Learn a dua every day. This is the time. Dua is it's not meant to be in your books, in our apps. It's supposed to be in our minds, in our brains, in our hearts, so that they could be applied when needed. So that we don't have to search for something and find the dua. So we can recite it from the heart when it's needed. That's what dua is. Dua is supplication. When does a person supplicate? When they need to, right? So let's not put it in book form. Let's put it in our hearts. So learn a dua every day. Give yourself some resolutions as well. These are personal resolutions that you have. I can tell you your resolution. Give yourself a resolution that, many of us maybe never did khatam of the Quran. And maybe, alhamdulillah, we are able to. Give yourself a task. I'm going to send you also how to complete the whole Quran in the month of Ramadan by looking. I have that as well to send you, inshallah. I will send you that as well. It's a Quran completion challenge. It starts with 1 day. How can you finish in 1 day? All the way to 30 days. By the way, speaking of Quran, Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi used to finish 2 Quran daily. 1 in the prayer and 1 during the day. 2 times reading the whole Quran cover to cover daily. These were the people. These were the shining stars. Again, it's about what's our priority, right? If we make our priority that we're gonna die, we're gonna have to be resurrected, we have to stand up in front of Allah, then these things don't seem too difficult at all. But if our priority is that, we have to do this and we have to do this, and we'll think about death later on, I'm sorry to crush your party, but that's not the reality of matter. That's not how it works. That's not what happens in the real world. In the real world, we have to die, and people are dying every day. Carrying on, let's give ourselves also some kind of task to improve ourselves spirituality. In our spirituality, we have to increase our spirituality in some way. So whether that is through salah, whether that is through recitation of Quran, whether that is through helping our parents, whether that is through helping the poor and needy. Some of you might be wealthy, and people are, last few days, I don't know how many of you actually listen to my talk every day that I have, alhamdulillah. But if you didn't, I've been advocating for people to dispense their zakat or sadaqah that they have, not wait till Ramadan, but rather dispense it now, because poor people in our country, in different places, even in the States, even in Canada, people have lost their jobs, and there were people that were earning day-to-day money, and they were eating and feeding their family day to day. Now they have nothing. They are in need of our help and our support. So if you have amount that you have saved up, you have amount that you have, if you happen to be a wealthy person, please send out this money so that poor can benefit. This is another thing that we can do during the month of Ramadan. Now, one of the things that we lack is the best time to achieve that is in Ramadan, is that when you get up for suhoor, if you get up 5-10 minutes before, you can easily perform tahajjud prayer. Tahajjud is something that when you are conversing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy comes to the first sky, and it calls out, هل من مستغفر فأغفر له هل من معاف فأعافه هل من مسترزق فأرزقه. Is there anybody who's in need of anything that I may provide them? That's the time to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So to try to build some kind of relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through salah, that's the time. So let's make a practice of making tahajjud salah at night, and let's overall make this Ramadan, let's intend, all of us, that this Ramadan is going to be the best Ramadan in my life. Although it's different, no dawat. All of us are always worried, iftar time, we have to go down. Karbashayas ke dawat. Whose house are we going to today? There's no dawat this year, okay? And nobody's going to bring you food either. So it's about, focusing. There's no dawat, there's no tarawih outside. You don't have to go to the masjid. There's no socializing outside. And the socializing forms that we have inside, I kind of already shut it down before. So I hope you understand why I did that. And there's no, wasting. During this Ramadan, what happens is that we have iftar together, and so much food goes to waste. We try to have, iftar at home, inshallah, and our iftar that we don't eat, let's leave it for the suhoor time. Let's not waste it, right? These are the few things that I hope we can adopt during this blessed month of Ramadan, keeping in mind Ramadan came and Ramadan went before, Ramadan will come and Ramadan will go. Is that what we achieved during this month of Ramadan? And the final hadith that I'd like to mention, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to the masjid, he stepped on the minbar, he said Ameen, he stepped on another step, he said Ameen, he stepped on another step and he said Ameen. Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, we have never seen you do this before. You did something amazing today that we've never seen you do before. This is something strange indeed. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that one of the reasons why I said Ameen is that Jibril came and he made 3 du'as. One of them was that a person who gets the month of Ramadan, by the end of it, he's not forgiven, he is destroyed. And I said Ameen, and his destruction is for him. I said Ameen, because we can't go wrong. This is the month where all the good deeds are on sale. This is the month, literally everything is at our disposal. Everything is there for us to grab. If we don't take it, then we're the ones to blame. I really hope that we can make the most out of this month of Ramadan, this blessed month that is upon us, that is coming. I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with some strength, some self-discipline. Please, I'll be honest with you. If you can just get rid of your apps and those social media platforms for this month, inshallah, a lot of concentration and devotion you'll find in your worship, inshallah. And like I said, you have to have your eyes set on the prize. What's the goal? What you want to achieve? Let's dedicate this month to achieving the pleasure of Allah. Let's try to see what people in the past tasted the sweetness of talking to Allah. They were in love with Allah. Let's be in love with Allah. Today, if you're a lover, I hope you don't have a lover unless you're married. Just for the record, I don't want you to think after this, oh, mashallah, Sheikh said lover, so I can have a lover. No, I don't advocate for you to have a lover unless you're married to them. Now, if you receive, a letter or message from your lover, no matter how long it is, you read it. And sometimes you read it over and over because you love it and you love the person who sent it, right? So, same thing. If we love Allah, we claim to love Allah, let's enjoy this month. Let's enjoy the actions during this month. Let's try to make the most out of it. And I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the strength and the ability, inshallah, for one and all, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحان الله بحمده سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم.